If you divide, 700 kilometers, if you divide this 11.11, by, 700 kilometers, you get 19.1 billion, 19.1 billion per kilometer. But this kilometer is
$19.1 billion per kilometer.
No, naira. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, per kilometer.
Call the parameters again. Let me divide it.
If you have
700,
I can give you something here.
Nobody in Nigeria can tell you today that he has the actual cost of that road, which will take over 15 years. 15 years. No, tell me how this administration will now finish that project, Moses. Is it possible? Is it possible? You and I know the answer. We are talking of Lagos Ibadan that lasted almost 30 years. This one, it may take 15 years. Meanwhile, money is gone. They have collected money. They are paid for that place, and they will not finish the construction in the next 15 years. What does that tell you?
My people, you see, Dave Umahi, he will explain tire. He thought he was dealing with somebody who don't understand what is going on in the system, how they operate. He didn't realize that he was dealing with Ruffai. And Ruffai caught him off guard, lying about the money. But there's something I want to ask. Please help me to answer this question. This road, is it cheap that is going to run on that very road? That is costing 8.599 billion per kilometer. What is going to move on that very road? That's the question you need to ask. When these people mention money, in a country where people are suffering, in a country where the citizens are struggling to make ends meet, to eat 2 square meal, but they mention all this money. Don't forget, the other barrister said that this money they are mentioning now, nobody is going to give account of it, because this road is going to last for over 15 years before completion. In the next 15 years, how much is it going to cost? And who is going to calculate? And who is going to give account of this very project? Watch the video, listen to him, please. Do not forget to share it for other people to see it. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
If you divide, 700 kilometers, if you divide this 11.11, by, 700 kilometers, you get 19.1 billion, 19.1 billion per kilometer. But this kilometer is
$19.1 billion per kilometer.
No, naira. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, per kilometer.
Call the parameters again. Let me divide it.
If you have
700,
I can give you something here.
Nobody in Nigeria can tell you today that he has the actual cost of that road, which will take over 15 years. 15 years. So tell me how this administration will now finish that project, Moses. Is it possible? Is it possible? You and I know the answer. We are talking of Lagos Ibadan that lasted almost 30 years. This one, it may take 15 years. Meanwhile, money is gone. They have collected money. They are paid for that place, and they will not finish the construction in the next 15 years. What does that tell you? I was thinking that it should have been a question of passing merit. Wherever you have worked, we pay you. But yeah, they pay, in one first swoop.
Okay.
The 30 kilometers they have done already, the 30% they have done already. We don't even know how much was paid.
30 kilometers. 30
kilometers they have done already.
And there was a video also showing that some of the road actually is caving in already.
Of course.
We yet to get anything about
it. Of course, because they did not even finish before they went to open it, just to show up. So what we're saying here that the secrecy of that place may not be known today. It is later. By that time, those who started this thing, they won't even be around for you to question them. They would have all gone.
I can give you something here. 700.
Yeah.
If you divide 1.1, 11.1 billion,
okay.
You multiply it by.
Article said trillion.
No, he said $11.1 billion.
That was in dollars, yeah.
Yes.
Dollars.
And I'm using 1,200.
Yeah.
And you divide it by 700 kilometers.
The thing has gone down to 1,100.
So are you also going to factor that in your variation?
The what?
Because the CBN is defending, and as it is today, it's about 1,100.
We are doing a calculation. We are running figures.
Okay, so let's go ahead.
So because we are talking as at today. Okay, so you use 1,200 because it also applied to our own.
Okay.
Now you get his own at 19,000 19 billion per kilometer.
Yeah.
Okay, and this kilometer is 2.22 multiples of standard gauge.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Now when you now divide this 19 point by this multiple gauge, you get 8.59 billion per kilometer. That is what is.
Why are you dividing it by this another parameter?
Because a standard gauge is 11.55.
Yeah.
So if you have this total pavement of 23 meters, okay, this 23 meters, how much of it is the multiples of a standard gauge?
Okay.
And so if you divide it by standard gauge of 11.55, you get that at every section of the road, what you have is 2.225 multiples of a standard gauge. Is that correct? So when you have, a cross section, per 1 kilometer of 19 billion, and then you now divide it by the multiples to know how much is this thing going to cost me if it were to be Lagos Ibadan, that carriageway. Okay, so it is going to be 2.225. So you divide that 19 billion by 2.225, and you get 8.59 billion. That is what a standard gauge of this kind of construction is going to cost.
But in another interview, you said it should be 8 billion. Now it is 8.9.
8.559 billion. 8.59. Yes.
8.59 billion.
Yes. 8.5.
Okay, so you're saying
8.552 billion. Yes.
Okay. 8.552 billion.
Yes. I will analyze my own.
So you're saying the cost per kilometer
Yes.
is 8.552 billion
Per standard gauge.
per standard gauge.
Yes.
So how are you going to iterate for the 700 kilometers? Because I know the variations will be different.
Let me run my own.
Yeah. So run your numbers. So let's
My
see. How
number is, a total of 59, meters width, in terms of, the total pavement. And at the end of the day, I'll tell you there's no comparison, apart from the cost elements, that this one is cheaper by what is saying, by half, and there's no comparison because the cost of what we are doing,
you can't say there's no comparison because we didn't have a tender. That's why I was asking that pertinent question. You can't say there's no comparison. These are your numbers. If I'm to call another engineer to run the number now, in the tender process, they might be able to run it differently.
You are going off the track, because I will tell you that there is, baselines, and there are bases. Because it's not an isolated work.
Okay,
we still have a lot of works similar to that are ongoing. When I run my number, I will give you the cost of a similar project that is ongoing, and was awarded about 3 years ago, and I will tell you the cost of that project, now,
so
and what I'm doing.
Because of time, let's move on. 8.5 billion per
that's their own. That's his, what he has brought to the table.
Yeah.
Now my own is, if you divide, my my own is 1.067, trillion. If you divide it by 47, 47.47, are you with me?
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Now you will have, the cost, but you will now multiply the cost by 5.167.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
My multiple standard gauge is 5.167. Is that correct? And then you will now have 4.329 billion per kilometer of standard gauge. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Is that correct? Now, this my own standard gauge has a lot of advantages. One is reinforced concrete. 2 is it has a lifespan of between 50 and 100 years. 3, it is suitable for the coastal road because of high water table. Concrete is very good with water. And why do I say that it has no basis in terms of comparison? This cannot stand the test of time. Tell me a asphalt road that is built in this country that has stayed for 10 years.
Not too maybe the ones built in the time of our law. Maybe that's
maybe the quality of materials and commitment, was better. And then you also have, the local materials, the chippings, the cement, compared to, the importation of bitumen.
Okay, I have a couple of questions, sir. So you may be able to run your number. So the cost comes out to about 8.5 billion.
No, that is for the one that was quoted.
So yours is
4.32.
4.32 billion per kilometer.
Yes, per a standard gauge.
Standard gauge. Does that also involve the rail outlay? Because there's going to be
the rail is a different project altogether.
So you are going to cost that differently?
Because the rail is not here.
The rail is not. So this is just the spread out road.
This is not just.
I mean,
this is the cost.
No.
The
This
Bodo Boni project
No,
which
no,
is a
let's not
similar
talk about that project now.
No, I want to tell you how
No,
competitive this is.
No, please, let me ask the question,
Okay.
Minister. This is just for the spread out road. This is not for the real component of the road. How much is the real component of the road going to cost?
Would not cost the
You've not costed it. So, but you've just made allotments.
Yes,
for the
25
real,
meters, yes.
25 meters.
Yes,
so there's a
yes,
setback
yes.
allotment for
Oh,
the
yeah,
real,
that is there.
for the real component of the
Yes,
road.
yes.
Another thing I will like to ask you is this: 4.5 billion.
4.39.
4.39 billion.
Yeah.
So per kilometer.
Yes. Per standard gauge.
Per standard gauge.
Yes.
So you are iterating it by 47 kilometers for the first phase, or is your calculation going to iterate it? Is this a standard spread for the 700 kilometers? Because if you say 4.3 times 700 billion, that's over 3 trillion. Is that what it's going to come down to?
You're not getting the figures right.
No, you said per kilometer.
You have to know the cost. What is that 4.329 billion? What is it for? It is for a standard gauge of 11.55. And we have 5.16 multiples of a standard gauge.
Yeah.
So multiply this by 5.167.
So I will now multiply this 3 billion
Yes, by
times
5 points.
Multiplied by
5.16.
5.16.
Yes.
So it will go about 15 trillion.
Plus and minus. And
15
if you
trillion.
if you multiply